Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these live streams every single weekday. Now, Bitcoin hasn't really moved over the weekend. We've seen a 0.23% move to the downside in the last 24 hours, and we have seen a similar move for Ethereum, down 0.89%. So we haven't really seen too many changes there. No levels of support broken, no levels of resistance broken, as expected over the weekend, really. Over the weekend, we typically don't see any massive moves. So we're going to run through the cryptocurrency news today, and we'll be taking a look at the CME chart as well, seeing if we've got any CME gaps this week that we can trade. But let's crack on with the cryptocurrency news first of all. Also, I forgot to mention completely there, you may notice that I'm not in my usual studio. We'll be back there very, very soon. But I'm actually on my holidays right now, so the streams are going to be nice and early this week so I can go and enjoy the sunshine. Let's take a look at what's going on in the news here. So we are seeing Vitalik's X accounts, formerly known as Twitter, has resulted in $700,000 in theft. So what's happened here is a security breach has led to Vitalik Buterin's account falling victim to that and losing accessibility to that account, and that has meant that $700,000 has been stolen from his followers, essentially. So we can see here a concerning announcement on X has shown that his account has fallen victim to a security breach and has been compromised. So you can see here some wallets that we've been detecting this thanks to online sleuths like ZachXBT. And we can see transactions on the transparent blockchain. And then here we can see, due to the phishing attack, approximately $700,000 in cryptocurrencies and NFTs were lost, and these figures were derived from assessments conducted by cryptocurrency investigators to ZachXBT and insights obtained from blockchain data. And one of the stolen assets was a valuable CryptoPunk valued at 153 Ethereum. Now, that is a huge token there, and one you do not want to be losing access to. These are tokens that a lot of people speculate on massively, so it's very disappointing to see this. Equivalent to approximately $250,000 that NFT is. And we are also seeing numerous individuals lost substantial amounts of ETH in the process. So we do have to be incredibly careful. We can't even trust the official accounts anymore. We need to be incredibly careful what we are doing, what links we are using, and where we are sending our funds to, and where we are giving access to our funds. It's very important here. It's very sad to see this, and it's very frustrating that in these kinds of scams, cryptocurrencies and NFTs are used. Obviously, you can see why hackers choose to use cryptocurrencies, because you can just transfer the value from one to another, and then they have complete access to those funds. But it gives cryptocurrency a bad name, and that isn't what we like to see here. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news here. So we have Apple iOS 16.6.1 update includes security patch for crypto threats. We're still on with the same things here. We're looking at how to protect ourselves from cryptocurrency. And the world is making it very easy, right? Not from cryptocurrency attacks. But it doesn't seem to be very easy at the moment. We're seeing a lot of attacks going on right now. So Binance's CEO CZ has notified the crypto community of the update and its importance. So the Apple iOS upgrade updates today, including a security patch to an iMessage vulnerability that allows remote code execution without any interactions from the victim. So it is being exploited in the wild by the Pegasus threat group already. Update immediately. Stay safe. So stay safe. What we are seeing here in April, it was reported that journalists and political figures were becoming targets of spyware similar to this. So this is really concerning that the victim doesn't have to make any interactions, but they can still get access to some things here. So as I said, we need to be incredibly careful. Some people actually do take things like this to the next step and have a phone where you have your two-factor authentication on there, and you don't log into any of your cryptocurrency accounts on your mobile that you use for day-to-day use. Definitely be very careful when you're using your mobile with your cryptocurrency. Try not to connect to any free Wi-Fi services. There are so many things you can do to keep your cryptocurrency a little bit safer. There's so many risks out there. We are in a world of self-custody. If we're in the world of cryptocurrency, the majority of us anyway are using centralized exchanges. And in that case, you need to take some extra measures to be extra safe. This isn't something that you can just buy, say, yep, I love self-custody, and then not think anything about how to keep that cryptocurrency safe. We're not using banks where they have the responsibility. we are our own bank, so we need to be incredibly careful. And with these risks that are going on right now, you need to keep on top of the news and see where is best to hold your cryptocurrencies. Let's see what's going on at this. Jason Smith says, any word on how the hackers gained access to Vitalik Buterin's X account? Now, I don't know this myself. It's probably very technical, so I've not looked into that too much. But yeah, we have seen a tweet from his dad, I believe. So father of Vitalik Buterin making a concerning announcement on X. So he is the one that revealed that his account had actually been compromised there. Let's see what else is going on today in the cryptocurrency news, and then we will look at the price of Bitcoin. We'll analyze the charts and we'll see what's going on there. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. It's going to be difficult to get views this week because nobody likes it when I'm not in my traditional studio. But we'll try. We'll still try. We'll still be doing the live streams every single day anyway. So let's see what's going on here. Interesting debate here. So FTX seeks to recover millions paid to professional athletes for promotions before the collapse. Now, we all know FTX collapsed in November 2022, and FTX were paying a huge amount of money to politicians, sports people, literally anyone they could. They would just seem to be throwing money left, right, and centre, and it hasn't paid off. These are things that people usually hope they will pay off and they will see big rewards from. In this scenario, that did not occur. They sent millions of dollars to many different professional athletes, and now they're wanting that back. Now, I've been in a debate about this before on around the blockchain. BitBoy Show spoke about this before. The debate is, are these athletes at fault for promoting a platform that was internally structured incredibly wrong and fraudulent, as reported? So the debate here is, are these athletes at fault for this? Now, I would say these athletes are not at fault for this. I don't believe that these athletes have enough power to do their due diligence on something like FTX. This is something that the regulators should have caught out, and the regulators have been very good at calling names on many projects in cryptocurrency, trying to regulate them since the FTX collapse. But where were they when FTX was operating as a centralized exchange? This is something the regulators should have picked up on. And I don't think it's something we can point fingers at the athletes for and say, come on, you shouldn't have promoted this. It was all internally wrong. I don't think the athletes are to blame for this. I don't think they would have known. So what should they get? Should they have to give their funds back to FTX? Now, FTX are trying to recoup as much funds as possible, and they have been for the last couple of months because they want to have as many liquid assets as possible to decide what to do next. The CEO, the new CEO of FTX, has discussed the opportunity of relaunching as a cryptocurrency exchange, and if that is the case, they have all the infrastructure there because FTX did operate as a cryptocurrency exchange, but they need as many liquid assets as possible. So recouping all of these assets, yes, could be good for the future of FTX. But is this something that we believe the professional athletes should have to do, should have to provide? They've done their work, they've fulfilled their duties. Yes, they may not have done as much due diligence as they should have done, and all of these people are very well off and are getting a big sum of money, so they could have spent some of that money towards due diligence. However, I really believe the regulators should have been on top of this, and we can't blame anything like on the athletes that were just paid to promote these things and do social media posts and wear their brand on their t-shirts. And these guys are just athletes. They're not just athletes, they're athletes. They're not interested in this kind of world, and it's not their responsibility to check up on this. They've fulfilled their duties. They've done all of the tasks they had to do. They will have been in a contract saying you have to do X, Y, and Z, and if they've done X, Y, and Z, it's not their responsibility to give those funds back, in my personal opinion. But we can see here, we've got Formula One payments may be reversed. We are looking at multiple athletes here potentially having to refund that money, but they've done their duties, I believe. And that's what I think about this anyway. But let me know what you think in the live chat. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's see what else is going on here. I haven't got a coffee with me this morning, and I would really like one. What we've got here is Ripple acquires Web3 infrastructure provider Fortress Trust. So Ripple's acquisition of Fortress Trust will add to the company's portfolio of regulatory licenses, as the latter holds a Nevada trust license. So Remittance company Ripple, this is obviously the provider of XRP, has inked a deal to purchase Fortress Trust, an Nevada-based financial institution focusing on regulatory, financial, and transactional technology to help other companies build, scale, and succeed in their Web3 initiatives. Now, we've seen Ripple, obviously, we all know this by now, they've been in a lawsuit with the SEC since December 2020. Since then, they have had a massive win in the courts, but they are still within that lawsuit. But since Ripple won in what's the word, intermittent case, they were in the courts. They've won in the courts in one circumstance, and that was a big win for Ripple. They seem to have stepped up a notch since then. Their confidence has risen, and they've decided to make a huge amount of partnerships since that decision. As I just said, the lawsuit is not over. The SEC do have the rights to appeal that lawsuit at the end as well if it's not in their favor. So we do need to all be aware of that and look at the risks here. XRP has performed pretty nicely. Let's see how it's been doing since that court decision. I mean, we all saw a massive uptick for the price of XRP at that period of time. I was longing XRP as soon as that news came out. You can see here it went all the way from down at 47 cents to 94 cents within one day. So massive win there for those XRP holders. And as I actually was saying at the time, I was not actually an XRP holder throughout this lawsuit. I was not accumulating throughout this lawsuit. I know lots of people that did and have been very happy from this news. But we can see here the max win people were receiving from accumulating during that lawsuit. It's around a 2x there. And I think these people deserved more. They've been accumulating XRP when no one believed, when everyone was like, what are you doing? This lawsuit's going to go on forever. Obviously, the lawsuit isn't finished yet, so we could see a bigger win towards the end of the year, hopefully, and maybe the start of next year. I'm hoping things will start to come to an end by the end of 2024 for XRP. There's been a lot of speculation that it will be done in 2023, but there's a lot of questions around that now since the SEC have not been happy with losing in court. It is speculated that they could be appealing if things don't rule in their favour. So we can see here XRP has kind of retraced back down to 49 cents once again, pre-court judgment levels. Hopefully, those XRP accumulators see a big win. Although I'm not an XRP holder in my investment portfolio, I'm not buying this for the long term, not accumulating at these low levels. I would like to see it perform very well because I know those people that have been accumulating throughout this time deserve some big, nice rewards. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. So LBRY to take on the SEC. So they are ending wind down procedures. So LBRY have tweeted the final judgment in SEC versus LBRY is out in accordance with the court's order and our promises. We expect to spend the next several months winding LBRY included down entirely. So this was on the 11th of July. And this is after, and now we are seeing LBRY file a motion of appeal against the judgment ruled in July. They are stopping all winding down procedures and they're looking to face the SEC head on. So they filed a notice of appeal against the SEC here. So they've used the recent Ripple win against the SEC as motivation to spur on its battle against the regulator and not go down without one last roll of the dice. So the Ripple case should end the SEC versus Coinbase lawsuit. What we are seeing here, actually, I would like to discuss this a little bit more. XRP won that case. So what happened in court there was that the courts ruled that XRP is not a security in 3 out of 4 instances. So it was through sale to retail investors, it's not a security. It's from, there was institutional sales, and there was sales from the CEO of Ripple, and there was sales tokens given to employees of Ripple. Now, in 3 of the 4 instances, XRP was deemed not to be a security. Now, the big debate that goes on here is that the SEC regulates securities. And the SEC has been saying to the cryptocurrency space, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this. And as the cryptocurrency community is saying, hold on, you shouldn't be regulating these assets. These aren't securities. But the guidelines to determine whether an asset is a security or not are really blurry for the cryptocurrency space. So it becomes subjective in a way where we can't actually determine whether the SEC should be regulating these things or not. And the cryptocurrency space is saying, no, you shouldn't. And the SEC is saying, yes, we should. So we're seeing lawsuits like this Ripple actually won in this instance, saying, look, the SEC shouldn't actually be regulating us. We're not a security. And we are seeing this as actually a win for the whole cryptocurrency space, not just for XRP and Ripple. So other cryptocurrency projects can take this news from the courts, with the courts determining XRP is not a security, and project that onto their own project and make decisions that based on that. So and we have actually seen XRP and Ripple's CEO, Gary Garlinghouse, saying, look, we're actually fighting for the whole cryptocurrency space here, not just XRP. And that is completely right. XRP is a massive, massive case for the cryptocurrency industry, and it will set a precedent for what's going to happen in the future. XRP is a massive token in terms of market cap as well. So it has that big name, and they've taken on the SEC front on to try and prove a case for the whole cryptocurrency space. We did also see them bring out some articles from the SEC's Hinman articles back in I don't know what year that was, early 2010s, where we were seeing the SEC internally debate about whether cryptocurrencies fall into the category of securities or not. And XRP and Ripple actually got those documents revealed, not just for their case against the SEC, but for the whole cryptocurrency space. So that was really nice to see from the XRP and Ripple team there, trying to fight for the whole cryptocurrency industry, not just their own project. Before we continue with today's news, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. We have here 83% of G20 countries have progressed cryptocurrency clarity, something we're fighting for in the US, but we don't seem to be getting anywhere with that. We are seeing other countries stepping up though and saying, look, this is how we are going to regulate cryptocurrency. Now, I believe if the US do not do this, they are going to be falling behind. We can see the Coinbase exchange has tweeted the US is an outlier in this, and I believe being an outlier in this is something that is going to cause problems for them later down the line. Now, let's move on to the next article here. Former ThoughtX CEO is licensed to 11,196 years in prison. So the former CEO of Turkey's cryptocurrency exchange ThoughtX has been handed an astronomical prison sentence there. So he's handed life in jail, and the jail term is so long it equates to approximately 150 lifetimes of Turkey's average life expectancy. So he was extradited to Turkey to face charges for the $2.6 billion of stolen customer funds, and he was captured in Albania 2 years after absconding with the funds. So massive case there. We do want to see these bad actors in the space taken and getting the repercussions they deserve, because what we want to see here is a nice space where we don't have all of these people like Sam Bankman-Fried and the ThoughtX ex-CEO. We want a nice community here, and we don't want these people giving cryptocurrency a bad name. Let's continue on to the next one here. We are talking about the guy that lost 8,000 Bitcoin in landfill once again. So this guy, I believe, actually, so it's James Howes, a British IT engineer. He had a bunch of Bitcoin on a hard drive, and then he threw that away back in 2013, I believe it was. And now he's trying to get all that back. He wants to search through that landfill pile to try and find that hard drive with all of that Bitcoin on. But the local council is actually saying to him now, you can't touch that landfill because it will be really bad for the surrounding areas. So we can see the ecological impact of such an operation is something that the council don't want to deal with. So he's actually decided to go for the legal route. He said, I've tried everything I can for 10 years and they didn't want to play ball. So now we have to go down the legal route. Not something he's specifically wanted to do. He's tried to offer some funds to those in the local area instead. We can see here, he said he would literally give them crypto directly and bring this whole area into the 21st century. He reportedly planned to give everyone in Newport $60 worth of Bitcoin from the proceeds if the operation is successful. So they've tried multiple times to get access to the landfill to try and find that hard drive. A very, very difficult task, but if they were to find 8,000 Bitcoin, it would definitely be worth it. Let's take a look at the next article here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. We are seeing Binance NFT platform end support for Polygon NFTs, and this is including the Sandbox. So massive, massive names here being delisted from Binance NFT platform, unfortunately. So Binance users will no longer have the option to purchase or list NFTs based on Polygon. So this implies that the vibrant Polygon ecosystem, renowned for its scalability and low transaction fees, will no longer be accessible through Binance NFT. Furthermore, all existing licenses connected to Polygon NFTs will be automatically cancelled to facilitate a clean slate for this transformation. We are seeing a huge amount of changes at Binance right now, keeping a close eye on them and trying to store as little as possible on centralized exchanges right now because the markets are low and at these times anything can happen. Let's see what else is going on here. CFTC imposes $1.7 billion restitution against mirror trading for Bitcoin and Forex fraud schemes. So with MTI still deep in Chapter 15 bankruptcy proceedings, the firm is undergoing liquidation in both South Africa and Florida, and the US CFTC has imposed an order requiring Mirror Trading International MTI to pay $1.7 billion in restitution for defrauding over 23,000 US customers through a commodity pool. So more schemes going on here is, again, something we want the regulation in for. A lot of people think that people in cryptocurrency don't want regulation. We do want regulation. We just want them to be targeting the right things. We want them to be catching FTX. We want them to be catching fraudulent schemes like this. We don't want them to just be targeting random cryptocurrency projects, not determining whether Ethereum is the security or not. Let's see what else is going on here. Why did KSI go silent on crypto? We've seen videos of him discussing this. He's managed to make a huge amount of money in crypto and then absolutely tank and lose a lot of that. So on the 3rd of May, he reported that he tweeted 28K incoming. This was in 2022 when Bitcoin was trading at rough $38,000. So pretty nice prediction there from KSI. So he also tweeted, WTF happened to Luna, and then quote tweeted this hours later, showing that UST had depegged to 95 cents. So we have seen him report that he bought the Luna dip before stating that he had bought more later on in the day. The public figure told his Twitter community that he had bought about 100,000 Luna and intended to lock it away for several years based on the opportunity. So he has said in recent, actually it was quite a while ago in this video, my $2.8 million is literally worth $1,000. Very big loss there for KSI. I don't like to see this. Public figures that are getting in cryptocurrency can be great for the space, but not when they're losing money, not when they're making decisions that maybe are a little bit too risky. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. Then we'll take a look at the price of Bitcoin. El Salvador begins Bitcoin classes for public school teachers. We all know by now El Salvador has made Bitcoin a legal tender, meaning you can use Bitcoin to pay for products in the shops, on the streets in El Salvador. And they are now trying to educate those within the country to try and adopt this a little bit more, because I don't think Bitcoin adoption has been great over in the region or as high as anticipated. What else can we see here? Logan Paul's entrance and exit from cryptocurrency. We are all aware by now of Logan Paul's cryptocurrency project that did not go too well. If you are interested in this, I'll drop the link to this in the live chat here, but let's just get on with the cryptocurrency analysis now. Let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin. Are we going to see a death cross here? So we are getting very, very, very close to this right now. If we take a look at the daily chart, what we are looking at here, this yellow line is the 50-day simple moving average, and the red line here is the 200-day simple moving average. These lines are incredibly close. I think it is inevitable at this point in time that we are going to see a death cross here. Now you can see here, if we go back in time, a death cross in the traditional markets, a death cross typically means that we are going to see a move to the downside in the longer term, and a golden cross, which is when the 50-day moving average crosses over the 200-day moving average, indicates we are going to see a move to the upside. So when we take a look at this, is this a very negative thing? In fact, let's pull this up on the BTC USD Bitstamp chart so we can go back on this a little bit further. You can see here in the bottom of a bear market, so we can look at the 2015 bear market, for example, we are going to see some fluctuations of the simple moving average. It's not just going to be a simple death cross, golden cross, death cross, golden cross at each bear market and bull market. Otherwise, they'd be the perfect trade tools to use. What we can see here is, yes, we do typically have death crosses just after the all-time high for a bull market. But what we can see here is there's a slight bit of confusion back during the pandemic days where we saw a second death cross in the bear market here. So what we had here in between the 2017 bull market and the 2021 bull market, we had this obviously bear market here. And during this period of time, we saw a golden cross trigger, triggering maybe we are going to see the bull market occur now. And we did actually see 2 more death crosses in that bear market. So is this a sign that we are going to see new lows? Not necessarily. Had we not had that pandemic, we wouldn't have had this obscure dip down to $3,800 once again. So I'm not too concerned about this. I'm seeing a lot of fear around this right now. Yes, we have seen a little bit of a pullback. Yes, we are seeing some sideways action. And yes, I do think that that death cross right now is probably inevitable with how close those lines are. The death cross is where the 50-day simple moving average crosses below the 200-day simple moving average. But do I think this is detrimental for the price of Bitcoin? No, I think we are just at a point in time where these lines are very, very close together. We could see some fluctuations here, but we have that Bitcoin halving coming up very, very soon in April 2024. We've got some Bitcoin ETF applications that are very, very exciting for the cryptocurrency space, and I'm trying to think positively about what's happening right now. Yes, we could be in store for some more sideways action. It is only still the early September, so we do have a few months to go there. But I'm anticipating some nice movements towards the end of next year. But obviously, nothing is financial advice. We're all trying to read the markets the same. Everything seems a little bit uncertain right now. We're trading at $25,860 with the amount of uncertainty that we have right now. It's in a bad price to be set at. But I think that is all we have for today's stream. So thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I'm going to go and enjoy the sunshine. As you can see, I'm not in my usual office. I am on holiday, so I'm going to go and enjoy the sun. And I will see you all here very, very soon. Thank you very much